what would you say is your critical mandate in terms of policing Delta State?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
My mandate here basically is to fight crime and ensure that crime is fought to a standstill, to bring crime in Delta State to a tolerable level where Deltans will sleep with their two eyes closed. Okay. If the environment is not safe, definitely business cannot thrive.
That's true.
Development will not even take place either. And like you are aware, Delta State is a very, very important state to the nation because of its oil producing position. So we cannot do anything less or short of ensuring that we give Deltans, and by extension the nation, the best it deserves in terms of crime fighting. That is why I'm here.
All right, we already have existing security mechanism. How do you intend to leverage on the existing security mechanism in place?
Definitely, to a large extent, I'll leverage on that because before my adoption of duty, my predecessor was on ground.
Okay.
He had his own structure on ground. And like a coach coming to take over a team from an outgone coach, you must definitely have an idea that you want to bring to the table so as to improve the situation. That I'm not unaware of it, and I can tell you that I've already set the ball rolling, and we are on of it.
When you said you set the ball rolling, I know you're trying as much as possible not to give us all the strategies, but you know the police, they don't always want to share. But you can actually tell us a bit of the security apparatus they have on ground. I know they have before now there was a thing that has to do with the Delta, is it Delta Org or something? That different, yes. So tell us about that.
So many of them on ground.
Okay.
You can show one. Delta Hawk is there.
Okay.
Dragon is there.
Okay.
Saint Delta is there. We also have tactical teams like the anti-cultism, which is there. Anti-kidnapping is there.
Okay.
Monitoring team is there. Our surveillance team that moves around is also there. We have also formal security architecture and the non-formal security architecture like the PCRC,
Right.
which is playing a very important role in mediating between the police and members of the public. Also, the public itself, which is largely our partners in crime fighting, are also there.
Okay.
So give and take, once you say a lot is on ground, and everybody must see himself as a crime fighter. Because if your home is not safe, you cannot even sleep well. So you to have a role to play.
That's it. Okay, now let's take a look at the state in general, which you are not new to. You were in Warri for a while. From information we've gotten as well, you were in Bayelsa, you were in Rivers, so you are fairly versatile as far as the Niger Delta is concerned. Now, bringing it on to Delta State, which areas would you say are the hotspots in this state that you'd really want to face head on as you've come on board? Yes, yes.
Warri is number one.
Okay.
Ogara, Osubi, Abraka, Agbaro,
Wow.
Ugeli. That axis
Yes.
is indeed quite notorious when it comes to the issue of crime. Most of the ugly threat we are getting, that situation report we are getting, comes from there. We talk about kidnapping, is there. Talk about cultism. And then of course murder These are very, very serious and notorious cases. And that is why largely the security architecture that we have on ground are mostly based there.
Okay.
I can tell you, I was there yesterday up till 7 o'clock Friday that day, trying to ensure that we talk to critical stakeholders.
Yes.
Because realizing that the police alone cannot do it, you need the support of members of the public to proactively nip this crime in the bud, even before it happens.
Exactly.
Because if you are waiting for it to happen,
It might be too late.
it might be too late. You are only being reactive. So I believe in proactive policy, not allowing it to happen before I start going after them. And to do that, I depend on the public in the interest of the members of the public, also in line with the IGP's cardinal principle of community policy, which is the intent globally across the world.
Community policing is another one, and a lot of people actually embracing that. Now, we do know that when we talk about community policing, there's no way we would ignore synergy with, of course, individuals. Now, they say the police, some people say the police is our friend, however it is. And now we're looking at community policing. At what extent can you drive this to ensure that we are actually friends with the police?
But the police is friends with us.
That's
The police is actually your friend. We are your friend. We are your brothers, we are your sisters. If you have problem in your house, where do you run to?
The police.
How long that beat you? Mercilessly in the house. Where do you run to?
the police.
There's no way you can run out from the police. The criminals are those that are running away from the police. Because why? They are very much aware that those things they are doing are illegal. And then the police, we don't want them to continually do that thing they are doing. To stop them, there's always going to be conflict. And that is why criminals will not want the police. But for clean and good citizens of this country that want to sleep, that wants to pursue their course of business or business, you cannot do with the power of without the police. You must always see the police as your friend, because you have to partner with us in order to ensure that your business interest is protected. And that's why we are here, friends, to protect you, to ensure that we support you in whatever way we can, as the core mandate that is given to the police by the Constitution and courtesy of Section 4 of the Police Act. Which says clearly that the duties of the police, one, is to maintain law and order and to protect life and property. And that we will continue to do, and that is what makes us your friends.
We're still on the front burner in the Fulani X-Men and attack, as it were, in some communities. Now, people are afraid of even going to the farmland because they will get attacked by Fulani X-Men. Now, it's been there. Now that you are the new CP in Delta State, what's your templates actually under the situation?
Yes. Fulani herdsmen is a worrisome situation, not only in Delta State, but across the nation. Here in Delta, we also have our own fair share of crisis with the Fulani herdsmen. But what I am set to do is to invite these herdsmen and also the leaders of the farmers group, so that we can sit down together and discuss that common problem, which has to do with attacks on innocent farmers by these herdsmen. Farmers basically, they don't want Fulani to take their cattle into their farmland to go and destroy the crops they have been laboring for a year, and they expect a bumper harvest at the end of the year. Somebody will come with his own cattle at the end of the day, just in the shoe, destroy all that the man has labored and is looking at That's the major source of family for the family to achieve.
Yes.
You will not be happy, obviously.
No,
Because of not being happy, you're going to be conflict.
yes. Another commissioner tied to, it is worrisome that the herdsmen take their cattle to go destroy crops. But more worrisome is the issue of rape, kidnapping, murder.
Yes.
To the extent that sometimes, so in recent memory, some persons, they bought vehicles right at the Coca Junction towards the Iguzo railway access, and we find these, well, herdsmen, whatever, inside the vehicle, and they are taken into the bush. So kidnapping is not part of it. That's in one part of the state. Now heading towards the Benin axis as well, we've had incidences of persons who have, I don't know whether they are Fulani stock or whatever they are, having persons kidnapped into the bush, because from the language they speak, we know that they are strangers to this area. So what are your plans towards all of this worrisome trend?
Very good. That is a very important question, because it has to do with the monster that the nation is grappling to fight, and that is kidnapping. Kidnapping, like we are all aware, has a very negative effect on the economic development of this nation. Visitors are afraid to come in. Visitors are afraid to come in. Even we, the citizens, we are afraid even to travel by road because of the danger it poses to lives and property. So my strategy to do is, I have already set up teams that are moving around. I've set up teams that are moving around in plain clothes, undercover men.
Exactly.
That move around. But they alone cannot also achieve and give us 100% desired result that we want to achieve. I want to call on members of the public that have useful information about these people, their movement and their whereabouts, to also pass this information to us. And I want to state their identity or identities will be treated with utmost confidentiality if this information is given, particularly to me or the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of operation, or to the police control room. You understand?
Yes.
I will pass these numbers on to you.
Right.
And I want to establish also citizenship lab.
Okay. By that you mean?
And roll out some numbers that will focus primarily on these social vices, cultism, herdsmen, and what have you, that have now become a social state. Yes. That citizenship lab is a department that I want to establish in the command. It's one of my key ideas that I want to establish in order to help me fight crime.
Right.
I'm going to roll out those numbers. Apart from our traditional police control room, we'll have this one right at the headquarters under my direct supervision here.
Okay.
So that individuals, group can also have access to these numbers. If you are in distress anywhere, you have information that you want to give to the police without necessarily passing it to the DP or anywhere.
Right.
So as to conceal your identity, and then the fear of these criminals coming after you will now be ruled out, because you are dealing with people that do not even know you. Yes, that is what I mean by that.
Right.
To help deltas.
Okay. So I want to take you back to, cities you mentioned in Delta State, that security flashpoints area in Delta State. You mentioned Warri, Ogara, Osubi, Accra, Kanko. Now, let's look at the crime situation around that axis. Can we say it borders more on, kidnapping or...
It borders more on kidnapping, cultism, and robbery. Armed robbery. Yes.
Okay, now let's look at education. Let's take a look at the option of technology apparatus to fighting crime. Have you thought of exploring the use of cameras, CCTVs, cameras, even outside homes, even in these areas which were identified as flashpoints, even in kidnapping zones that have been identified in the past, because this is a system you are not new to. And then issues like drones. These are things that put us as new technologies that can be deployed. Have you thought of this? So what are your plans as far as this is concerned?
The government, not just me thinking about it.
Yes.
Federal and state governments are concerned about this. And I can tell you that last week, precisely on Thursday, I had a team that came all the way from Abuja discussing about where to mount these cameras that will help us in fighting crime. And of course, mention we are made of certain locations that want to place these cameras. You understand?
Yes.
That is the way globally the intent now is technology. Because crime, to a certain extent, is not even fought now physically, but in cyberspace.
Right.
So we are very much aware of that, and that we are doing something about that. Yes.
Okay, now let's look at COVID-19 protocols and security as well.
Yeah.
People are afraid that, now they use a face mask, you can't actually tell one's identity, even if there's an issue. And some persons are also going under the cover of going to wear a mask to go to this place, and they just know that they cannot be identified now. What are you actually doing to ensure that even if people are complying with the COVID-19 protocols as it relates to wearing of masks particularly, that citizens can be sure that they are safe?
What we are doing is to unleash our detective out on this criminal syndicate.
Okay.
Yes. Men go out in decoy. I want to repeat that. Moving around some of these flagship points and other important areas where people go for one gathering of one event or the other. With a view of identifying these criminals that normally go under the cover of masks. Before, I do remember vividly that wearing a face mask was an offense. But today,
Is it order of the day?
has come.
If you don't wear it, it becomes an offense.
Is it new normal?
It's a major thing, a major protector that we have against the further spread of COVID-19. I need to safeguard our own life first before any other thing. So side by side with COVID-19, they are not unmindful of the fact that people now go under the cover of COVID-19 masks to go and commit crime. That too, we are focusing on that.
Do you envisage challenges? What would you say would be obstacles to you achieving these your strategies in fighting crime to its barest minimum in the state?
Basically funds. Paucity of funds is a major challenge because a lot is needed in crime fighting.
Yes.
You can't use your chest. You can't use your bare hands to fight crime. Logistics are needed. Talk about vehicles. Talk about some of these equipments that the security men need to use in fighting crime. And if this environment is not provided, you can do the best you can with the little or available resources under your disposal.
And this challenge is not exclusive to Delta State alone.
No, it's not. And the government here is doing it. The government of Delta State is doing it. It's doing its best. I discussed this with His Excellency, and indeed he assured that he's going to buy us vehicles and some of these things that we need. Because when I trust, he will do it.
All right, let's come home, per se. We're in Asaba, and we know that the police headquarters is in Asaba. Generally, the environment in Asaba, how do we speak to that? What's the take on the security situation in Asaba?
Asaba is relatively peaceful. The problem you have in Asaba basically is that of land grabbing. Land grabbing is just the problem that Asaba has, which in itself is another major threat to security.
Yes.
It's a threat to security because you have people fighting over land here and there. And because of them, that one or two persons are bound to lose their life. Therefore, it becomes a threat. People carrying all mannerism of weapons to fight themselves over a portion of land. That's the only major problem we have. And because of the proximity of Asaba as a capital to the southeast, we have once in a while that incursion of criminals coming from the southeast to this place, talking about IPOD. That too, we are monitoring them closely because last week we were made to understand they went about attacking one or two stations in Imo and some other parts of Anambra State. We are alert, watching over them and ensuring that they do not cross over here with that sinister motives to come and cause any crisis here. So Asaba basically is relatively peaceful. We don't have much problem of cultism or kidnapping and security.
Once in a while, cultism issues they spring up in the state capital.
That is what I said.
Yes, but for the now,
once in a while, there is no society in Nigeria today that will tell you it's totally free of kidnapping. No. Once in a while, we do have our fair share of it, but it's not as constant or regular like
those areas you've mentioned.
Areas I mentioned.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would like to say a very big thank you to you, Honorable Commissioner of Police of Delta State, Mohammed Ali, for coming to share your thoughts with us. Now, we'd like you to quickly give to viewers this morning, say 3 security tips before you step out of the studios.
Very good. 1, you should ensure that they conceal anything they have in their vehicles as they are moving on the road in terms of valuables, money, bags, anything that they know is very, very important to them. 2, do not let people know about where you are going always. Leave that to your chest. Don't trust anybody. And suspect anybody that is moving behind you. Always pay attention to your mirror as you are driving past. And avoid late night movement. Avoid late night movement. That too is very, very important to us. Always ensure that you lock your doors for your own security, whether you are in the house or you are out of your house. Lock your environment. Secure your place. That will go a long way in assisting you. These are basically the major tips I want to leave behind.
Thank you very much, and they are indeed very critical tips that you have shared with us this morning. And our viewers, I'm sure they're thankful, just as we are here, for you finding time to come enlighten us. Come tell us where your plans are. Some of them are to ensure that you bring crime to a tolerable level. Those were your words, that your mandate is to bring crime to a tolerable level in Delta State. Once again, I appreciate the time you've come to spend here with us this morning. Commissioner of Police Mohammed Ali. Thanks and thanks again.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure meeting you.
We look forward to having you again.
Anytime, any day. I always be here with you. It's my pleasure meeting you this morning. Once again, I want Deltans to always pass information to the police and, most importantly, the law abiding.
All right. We will be getting the numbers from you
I will
later.
pass the number on to you.
Yes, so we can have them on. Yes.
Send them out.
Exactly. Thank you very much once again, Dr. Mohammed Ali, Commissioner of Police of Delta State, for finding time to be here. Morning Drive continues as we check out what's happening as far as national bodies are concerned. As in a moment, do stay with us.